Welcome to Kanpai Planet. I'm Mac, and here are 5 Japanese whiskies for under $100. Whether you're searching for the perfect gift for a loved one or treating yourself to a gohobi, a well-deserved reward, this video has you covered. In the US, all these bottles have a pre-tax MSRP of under $100, so you can explore some excellent Japanese whiskies without breaking the bank. And here's the best part. I've featured all the whiskies or distilleries in their own detailed videos on Kanpai Planet, so you can share the fascinating stories behind them with your giftee.
Hold up.
Before we go on, all these whiskies are real Japanese whiskies as defined by the Japan Spirits and Liqueur Makers Association, which is basically a long overdue common sense definition of whiskey actually 100% made in Japan. Incredibly, many whiskies that look like they should be are not. Buyer beware.
Okay, it's time for the easiest part of any coach's job, the cuts. Now, while I wasn't able to cut everyone I wanted to, I have cut a lot of you.
So, what makes the cut? Let's find out. If you're looking to gift a truly iconic bottle of Japanese whiskey, then Hibiki should be at the top of your list. One of the most famous blends in the whiskey world. Each bottle contains liquid distilled at Suntory's Yamazaki, Hakushu, and Chita distilleries. The brand was first launched in 1989 and has gone on to become synonymous with the craftsmanship of Japanese whiskey. The Hibiki 17 was famously featured in the acclaimed film Lost in Translation.
For relaxing times, make it Suntory time.
カットカットカットカットカット本当に分かってんなんだとぼけちゃって。これサントリーの響きだよ。高いんだからサントリーの中で一番。
And the 21-year-old iteration is the most awarded Japanese whiskey of all time. Smooth and versatile, with notes of citrus, chocolate, marshmallows and spice, the no-age statement Hibiki, dubbed Hibiki Japanese Harmony, is 86 proof and works well neat, on the rocks, or as the base for a highball. It's an excellent choice for someone exploring Japanese whiskey for the first time or a fan of lighter, more delicate drams. And the bottle itself is a classic. Its 24 sides representing the 24 hours of the day and the 24 seki, the solar terms in the traditional Japanese calendar. It makes for a great decanter or infinity bottle.
What is it?
It's a one-year membership in the Jelly of the Month Club.
Oh, God.
Clark, that's the gift that keeps on giving the whole year.
If Hibiki is outside your budget, but you still want some of that Suntory cool factor, turn your attention to Toki. This export-only blend is priced to perform in non-domestic markets. Shopping for the bourbon lover in your life? Kirin have you covered with their Fuji single grain whiskey. Like a single malt, this is made at one single distillery, the Fuji Gotemba distillery, nestled at the foot of Mount Fuji. They use the mountain snowmelt water, which is over 50 years old by the time it is bottled. And speaking of the bottle, the emblematic mountain features front and bottom, as it were, at its base. It's a vatting of Canadian style, Scottish style and bourbon style components. The last of these made exactly the same way as they do in Kentucky. They actually spelt whiskey with an E on the bottle, a further sign that this is destined to bring bourbon lovers into the world of Japanese whiskey. The liquid is 92 proof, non-chill filtered and natural colour. All things whiskey fans love. This all leads to notes of ripe fruit, rye bread and creme brulee. There is a saying here in Japan, a wise man climbs Fuji once, only a fool climbs it twice. But Kirin's Fuji single grain is a bottle I can keep climbing into. For fans of smoky, peaty whiskies, Yoichi single malt from Nikka is a great choice. This whiskey is crafted at the Yoichi distillery, located on Japan's northernmost main island of Hokkaido. It was founded in 1934 by the godfather of Japanese whiskey, Masataka Taketsuru. He was the legend who went to Scotland, learnt the secrets of whiskey making, returned to Japan, became the first distillery manager at Yamazaki, and eventually founded Nikka Whiskey. The Yoichi distillery's traditional techniques, including the use of direct coal-fired pot stills, adds even more authenticity to the story of the spirit. Bottled at 90 proof, its flavour profile offers waves of warming peat smoke with notes of citrus and a touch of brine that reflects its coastal origins near the Ishikari Bay, which all continue into a medium finish. This is more approachable than some of the higher ppm Islers out there and is a great introduction to Japanese whiskey for those who love peated drams and want to explore Japan's take on the partially decomposed plant matter. Single malt Miyagi Cure is a product of the next phase in Nikka's evolution. Due to the adversarial nature of Japan's whiskey history, distilleries haven't swapped stocks like they do in Scotland. Things are starting to change on that front, but back in the 1960s when Masataka Taketsuru wanted to make his blends more complex, he had no choice but to import whiskey or build another distillery. And build it he did in 1969 in a valley in Miyagi Prefecture at the junction of two rivers. The Miyagi Cure distillery's pot stills are larger than those at Yoichi, with different shapes and lower temperature indirect steam heating, resulting in the softer floral characteristics found in single malt Miyagi Cure. The main influence from maturation comes from ex-sherry casks and new American oak casks. Bottled at 90 proof, it opens with sweet, floral and smoky aromas. On the palate, there are layers of ginger, malt, herbaceousness and spice. A soft medium finish including notes of baked apple and rose awaits. This is a classic old school single malt that harks back to a simpler time. Why not pick up both single malt Yoichi and Miyagi Cure and put them head to head? The Kanosuke distillery in Kagoshima on the southern island of Kyushu is a relative newcomer to Japan's whiskey scene, but they have quickly made a name for themselves. In fact, I'm on record as calling them the face of Japanese new wave craft whiskey. Kanosuke's origins lie in making shochu, Japan's indigenous spirit. They began distilling in 1883 and barrel aging in 1957. They have a pedigree and know-how that shines through in their offerings. The innovative use of ex-shochu casks is Kanosuke's hallmark. Their flagship product, Kanosuke Single Malt, offers a creamy, fruit-forward profile with hints of malt sweetness and a touch of spice, a deep cinnamon note characteristic of most of their drams. Despite its 96 proof, the highest on this list, it's an approachable whiskey that will also intrigue seasoned drinkers. If you're looking for something fresh and exciting outside of the big three of Suntory, Nikka and Kirin, Kanosuke is an excellent choice. These 5 whiskies offer a diverse tasting experience, and each one tells a story. They're more than just drinks, they're experiences waiting to be shared and gifted, even if that gift is to yourself. Are there any sub $100 whiskies you'd add to the list? Let me know in the comments. And if you found this video useful, please subscribe to Kanpai Planet so you don't miss out on more from the world of Japan's drinks. Until next time, Kanpai!